All right, so what is Bohemian Club? What is Bohemian Grove? What is the difference? So the Bohemian Club is a all-male club. They are based in San Francisco, California. And the Bohemian Grove is where they go every midsummer around July, first or second week. And that's where they go for the 2-week encampment inside of the Bohemian Grove, which is based in Monterey. So they're about 100 miles away from each other. And I figured, if you want to learn more about who these people are, about what we know, right, what from their own documents and things like that, and if you want to watch the videos of us standing outside every year since 2012, we've been out there around, hopefully on the first day of the Bohemian Grove kickoff, the 2-week encampment kickoff, because the first day is when they're supposed to do the cremation of care, where they sacrifice care in front of a big 40-foot owl. Now, care, as they symbolize care, is in a human form. So they're actually sacrificing a mock human. It's a mock human sacrifice, as far as we know. It's a mock human sacrifice in front of this 40-foot owl with all these druids. This guy named Death carries the mock sacrifice across the river as all the participants, as everyone who was invited to the Bohemian Grove watches on and cheers and claps. And as care is burned, they throw away their cares. Be gone, dull care. If you've seen Alex Jones's video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If not, it's definitely out there. Definitely worth watching. Alex Jones was there in 2000 with Mike Hansen and John Ronson. So it's definitely worth watching. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to show you, if you are looking for documents, if you are looking for more information about the Bohemian Club and the Bohemian Grove, I'm going to try to make it as easy for you as possible here. That's going to be the goal of this. So what I've tried to do is try to put everything in one blog post, in one post on my website, whatistruth911.wordpress.com. And we're going to go there and take a look. And I've tried to make it easy for people to kind of put everything that we have so far, everything that we know of. Check out my friend's, his YouTube channel. Go to Mendo Brendo, and it should pop up. Put in Mendo Brendo, Bohemian Grove, something like that. It should pop up. I've recently started another YouTube channel, Bohemian Club Questions, where it's just going to have Bohemian Club content. You may be watching that here on this, so this will kind of help you navigate through the website and through all of these different links. But it's fairly simple. There's also a Facebook page called Bohemian Club Questions, and we also have a bigger page called Resist the Grove, which was started by my friend Sean Ackley. So those are some of the things that we've been doing to try to keep up for anyone that wants to stay in touch about this stuff. Recently, I found some old videos that I did not know of. There was a guy named Bohemian Kyle, and he was putting up a lot of content. I couldn't find some of the content, but I was able to find a few of those things. So I made a couple compilation videos that you can find on my YouTube channel as well, and I'll direct you there. And but check out my friend Mendo Brendo. He's got sounds of Bohemian Grove. It's pretty crazy, some pretty interesting stuff that directly from the Bohemian Grove members. And I think it's a little creepy, but it's just supposed to be, started off as a bunch of theater. It's a male theater encampment. So men of theater, as I like to call it. So, but whatever your view is, they do dress and drag, because obviously if they're doing a play with women, they got to have women there, but they can't have women inside as far as we know. So they have to have men dressed up as women to play these parts. And so you've seen some of the videos, some of the photos. Some of it can be pretty creepy, but we'll take a second here and go through some of those things. And I'll just kind of direct you to where, if you do want to download some of the documents, I want to make sure that you have them. Hopefully we can get some more of these documents in digital form, but I'll show you what we have so far. All right, so all you need to do is just open up a browser of your choice. Be careful where you go, your search engines and everything like that. But whatever you choose, just type in what is truth 911.wordpress.com. This will take you directly to the website, to my website here, or web page, whatever you want to call it, a WordPress site. And basically, right now it's the first one here. I am going to work on kind of redoing the whole website here. So hopefully next time you come in, it may look a little bit different. I'd like to add some things up here to the very top. You can see what I have. Um, but right now, the first article at the top is Bohemian Club questions. So this is where I'm going to be adding more content as I get more content, as we get more documents, things like that. But here's what we have so far. Aside from all of the ads, see if I can make this bigger. Hold the control button down, hit the plus, and that will always make your screen a little bit bigger, guys, just so you know. And it looks like this website is mobile responsive, so that's awesome too. So here's what we have under Bohemian Club questions. Check back here every so often. You may find some new stuff, but everything that I have, I really want to just have it in just one spot so I can direct people to just one area. Kind of, it's just a web page within a website. So we're going to go and look at everything that we have here. Okay. And again, this is all, if you want to just get kind of their view, their side, which we tried to have a conversation with them outside of Bohemian Grove, and they haven't been too responsive. So, I mean, they can't really blame people for having a lot of questions, for not really knowing what's going on. But here we have, if you do want to look at their own Bohemian Club bylaws and rules, and you can download that right here. Just click on it and you can download that. It's 121 pages from the actual book here. And this is from 1918. So obviously the bylaws and rules may have changed since then, but this is what we have so far, and you can always go and check that out. So make sure you download that, keep it offline, print it out, just so it never uh, disappears down the memory hole, which can easily happen with anything here. So there you go. You can check that out, the Bohemian Club bylaws and rules PDF, and read all about it. Extra, read all about it. You can see everything that they had back then. And again, that was 1918. So good stuff to read. It's pretty interesting. The genesis of the Bohemian Club in San Francisco dates from the meeting of a few journalists in the editorial rooms of a San Francisco newspaper, February 15th, 1872, when it was resolved to organize a club for journalists and other writers, and a committee was appointed to draft a constitution. This constitution was adopted March 4th, 1872, and went into effect on the 30th of the same month, which date was also set for electing a board of officers. By March 9th, 1872, 20 names of charter members were subscribed to the Constitution, and after some debate as to the club name, the Bohemian Club of San Francisco was formally organized April 1st, April Fool's Day, interesting, and incorporated May 17, 1872. Even prior to these dates, the original purpose of the organizers had broadened until its circularized expression was almost identical with Article 1 of the present Constitution, which reads, "This organization is instituted for the association of gentlemen connected professionally with literature, art, music, the drama, and also those who, by reason of their love or appreciation of these objects, may be deemed eligible." Since its organization, the club has moved its rooms twice. The first club rooms were in the Astor Building, SE corner of Sacramento, Webb Streets, which were occupied March 25th, 1872. 5 years later, the club leased more spacious quarters at 430 Pine Street, and February 23rd, 1889, the present club building, 130 Post Street, was occupied. So there you can go. The membership has grown from, I started with 182 regular members in 1874 and went to 750 in 1904. And to date, I believe it's over 2,000, maybe even more. So, but again, this is from their own documents here. So this is just great stuff to kind of know if you really want to dig deep, if you have time to dig deep in it. It even shows what their motto is. Bohemia has also a grayer side, which finds expressions in many alloginks and is imperatively stated in its club motto: "Weaving spiders come not here." I mean, that is their motto right there. So then they go through this stuff in 1904 and 1905. So definitely worth reading, but I didn't want to just read that one part there. I thought it was pretty interesting about how it got started in their own words again. All right, so that is the first one. Then we have the club annals. Number one, I have the physical book. Number four, my friend Mendo Brendo has, I think he has all of them actually. So hopefully we can help him get those into digital form. It's not cheap, obviously, but it is possible. So hopefully we can make that happen so that way I can add more. So one day you'll come in here and see all of their annals here, right inside of here. Annals, everyone. ANNALS. Keep your mind out the gutter. So this is number one, which I think is very awesome that we have the first one, because that's very important. Again, if you want to go back to the history of who these people are, where they got started, et cetera, um, some of the stuff in Wikipedia, even some of the stuff I put in my book, Dole Care, which was like a 37-page pamphlet that I passed out outside of the Bohemian Grove a couple years ago. And of course, our good friend Tony, one of the security guards there, he did take a couple copies. I don't know what he did with them. Hopefully, he didn't trash them. Maybe he read them. I don't know. But probably maybe stuff that didn't really appeal to him, or I don't know. I really don't know. He never gave us any feedback on it. But this is volume one, The Annals of the Bohemian Club. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. This was entered into record in the year 1898. So you can see by Robert H. Fletcher in the office of the Librarian of Congress at Washington. So they weren't really secretive as far as who they were, and as far as a lot of their documents, all that stuff was kind of public, but kind of not. Over the years, we've been able to find some. You may even be able to go online right now and find some of the physical books that you can purchase. I only have one of them. I've the earliest one that I could find was volume 4, but here's volume 1. You can print it out, and it's 294 pages, and that's divide that into two. And Thomas Newcomb, first president of the club from 1872 to 1873. So there he is. There's the man right there, apparently, from what they say. So anyways, good stuff that you can read, and you can see on the left hand side, it kind of goes page by page. I mean, that's a pretty creepy thing. The owl kind of hovering over a dead king, it looks like, because there's a crown there, and yeah, it's got the skull there. So lots of symbolisms. And one of the most recent videos that I found, it was still from 10 years ago, but it popped up. Thankfully, things start to kind of pop up. But it popped up, and they go into the Bohemian Club, the new one in San Francisco 10 years ago. So that's pretty interesting. I do have that as a part of one of the videos on my YouTube channel, Bohemian Club Questions. Make sure you check that out. To our tutelary deity, that ancient bird of wisdom, the owl. So it's like this is their deity. Tutelary deity. So yeah. This book is reverently and affectionately inscribed. Oh, affectionately. Yeah, very affectionate. So then you can read all about that and read what the purpose is of this, et cetera, et cetera. They've only a few copies out there. So um, thankfully we have it. So thank you to whoever was able to get this out there and make this data public, because I think it's definitely worth reading, especially if you really do want to understand more about the Bohemians. And good stuff in here. So I hope you all will take the time to read that. It's 294 pages, so I understand it's not it's not a quick read either. It's very textbook, but I think it's worth going through for sure. And I have added this to a feature book that I'm working on, Shadows of Light. The Dole Care pamphlet, an updated version with a lot of the stuff that we're looking at here will be in there. So hopefully that'll make it a little easier. But I really think if you really just want to read the stuff for yourself, I want to make sure that everybody can do that easily, quickly, and at your own time. So download this now and read it whenever you have time. All right, so that's the volume 1. The semi-centennial hijinks in the Grove is next. Just click on the text or click on where it says download. You can download that and check that out too. That one is only about 46 pages. Definitely worth looking at, worth reading, I think. I think a lot of this stuff is, depending on the time, but July 28th, 1922 is when that is dated. So there you have it there. And yeah, who knows? Maybe you'll find some interesting stuff. This is probably the lesser known one that I've read. I haven't really read. I think I may have skimmed this like once or twice, but I haven't really read that much here. But definitely good to go through. And obviously, this is all of their public stuff that they really want to be out there. So I don't know. It kind of looks like it's almost in a play form or something. So there you go. You have that. And speaking of plays, I'll just close that one. We have a ton of plays here. Also, we have The Caveman, The Fall of Ugg, The Green Knight, and then all of the volumes. So volume 1, volume 2, volume 3. So tons of plays if you just want to look at their plays. The Caveman, I believe, is the first play that they ever did. One of the earliest plays. And The Fall of Ugg is an interesting one because I believe that is the one where Moloch is actually mentioned. It's not related to the Bohemian Grove owl, but Moloch is mentioned. So Mike Hansen, when I read Mike Hansen's book, what was it? Mike Hansen was like Cult of Conspiracy, I believe. But that was the first time that I really started to understand that Moloch is not this owl, right? They're two separate things. So this is a great book. You can get on paperback right now, 1793. It's definitely worth buying. One of the best books on this that I've read, 448 pages of pure data, right? Just great data. Like he's pretty much done. He was my kind of inspiration to take everything and put it into just one little thing. So he has 448 pages of awesome stuff related to the Bohemian Grove, right? And just takes you could tell the research that he's done on this and has made like a compilation of what this is a compilation book of pretty much everything you would want to know about the Bohemian Grove in a good form too, right? Like the stuff you may read for me, the book I'm working on may not be it may not be that great, right? But he's been able to take a lot of this data that I didn't even know about and put it into this one book. So if you're going to read a book, if you're looking for a book on the Bohemian Grove, I would definitely start here. Start right here with this book, Mike Hansen. Mike Hansen is the guy who was with Alex Jones, so he was there too, along with John Ronson. So uh, this is an excellent book. I won't spoil it too much, but I could talk about that book all day long. It is an awesome book. So I hope you do think about checking that out. There's no audiobook as far as I know, but an audiobook would be pretty awesome. I'd love to read that or love to listen to it. Okay, we'll close that one and we'll move on. So there are all of these different plays. The Fall of Ugg, I do believe is I mean, they're all weird, pretty interesting stuff. But if you want to know more, and then I also have what I have, the Dole Care by Greg Fernandez Jr. This will be from my next book, Shadows of Light. So you can download that chapter now. Aside from maybe some typos or little grammar things that I will be checking up on later on, this is pretty much ready to go. So you can get a good sample of my book if you just want to. And Shadows of Light, the book that I'm working on, every chapter is really its own book. So you can kind of this is what 36 pages here. Probably not much to change. A few things probably to add in this, but hopefully you'll check that out. And hopefully it'll be valuable to you and your research. You can see I've had some issues with some of the formatting, like trying to make this, the photos not so grainy and so blurry, but while at the same time trying to add them in here. So that's 36 pages of data, and hopefully that will be helpful too. Still kind of going back because of the Henry Edwards thing here. I don't know. I'm still Not sure. I always think about taking this Henry Edwards stuff out. It's good stuff. It's good data from from Wikipedia, I guess, but it's not mentioned in any of the Bohemian Grove documents that I can find. Their own documents here, so I don't know if this is really relevant or if I should. I think I did take a bunch of that stuff out, but I may even take some more of it out because it puts a lot of focus on this guy as if he's like one of the main people to start this when there is, there's a bigger story. As you read the actual documents, you can see there's a bigger story. But aside from that, I think everything else in here is pretty good data, but you may come back and find that missing or gone. And so we go through the first Grove play, the Daibatsu. So before the 40-foot owl, there was actually a 60-foot Buddha statue, which I was fascinated by, or 70-foot. Sorry, I thought I said 60, 70-foot. That was in there. So there it is right there. I mean, that thing is huge. Look how big that thing is. Why would there be a Buddha statue there? First of all, that's pretty weird. But I think these photos are way too big. So looking at it now, I may go back and kind of shrink them up. But I think David Icke, that was actually the first time that I, even knew about this, that there was, obviously it's public data if you go and search for it. If you go to any national park, I think somebody went to the national park and they were able to get these photos here, these 3 photos, which would be great to have. There's also maps and things like that you can get. And of course, people have done the whole Google satellite thing too. But it's pretty interesting. Like the more that you dive into it, I don't know. I don't want to say the less it seems like it's just people sacrificing children, things like that, which is kind of what Alex Jones kind of made it seem like, or that was my interpretation. I shouldn't say that he made it. So that's my fault of if I interpret it that way, right? I can't blame him for how I interpret things or how I think of things here. But reading through a lot of these documents and a lot of this stuff kind of, I don't know, it's like, I guess it kind of watered down my view of what the Bohemian Club is and what the Bohemian Grove is. I don't believe it's something that we should join or something that we should, I have a Facebook page, the Bohemian Club Questions, and I mean, last few months I've been getting a lot of people who contact me wanting to know how they can join the Bohemian Club. I'm like, that's not the purpose of the page that I created. That's not the purpose of anything that I do. It's complete opposite. You want to join Jesus Christ. You want to be on that right side. You want to be on the right side of Jesus Christ. And a lot of the people, when I start telling them that, they don't really want to hear it. They're pretty nice. Like I've never had anyone who was kind of rude or anything like that, but it feels like they do not understand why I created the Bohemian Club Questions Facebook page. It is not to recruit people to the Bohemian Club at all. I have no affiliation with them. I want to recruit people into believing in Jesus Christ, to learning about Jesus Christ, to understanding who Jesus Christ is. That's the purpose of my book, Shadows of Light, because that's what we really are. Jesus Christ is the light. We can't be the light, but we can be shadows of that light. And so that's kind of the purpose of that. And but anyways, getting back to the Bohemian Grove stuff. So that's all the documents that I have so far. So hopefully those will help. If not, at least read the first two, maybe the first three. But if you really want to dig into their plays and see how weird some of this stuff is, read their play, listen to their plays. But you can also go to Mendo Brendo on YouTube, and you can see he has the sounds of Bohemian Grove, and there's some interesting stuff there. And they were part of some of the files, some of the public files that he was able to purchase online. So, but aside from that, I have started a new YouTube channel. So if you click on the text up here, Outside Bohemian Grove videos, click on that. That's going to redirect you to the full playlist. And so I'll be adding things. You can see I've only made it to 2017 and of course 2020. Sounds of Bohemia It sounds like Bohemian Club is playing live now, but there should be another one just called Bohemian Club Questions. And then, of course, my Dole Care video. At some point, I will add that in here. But this is kind of my experiences and kind of what I videoed. You know, I was very new to video, and was just kind of had no idea what I was doing. Obviously, you can tell, but I just figured let's just go there. We'll film it, we'll document it, and we'll edit it and chop it up later on. And that's exactly what we did. So I tried to make the best of it. And um, some of these are long, some of these are short. I think the shortest one is like 20 minutes. Oh, well, the Bohemian Club, some of the shorter clips, but from 2012, that's a crazy year. I still have a lot of stuff to add from my friend Mendo Brendo's channel. So I'm going to get some of that documented. We're actually talking right now about doing, I don't know, some type of show on this. I would love to do like a monthly podcast, something like that, or even a bi-monthly podcast, you know, semi-annual podcast or a yearly podcast where we make sure every year we talk about all of this stuff. But there's a lot. I mean, we could literally do a whole show of just going back starting at 2012 and going through all this stuff, and lots of interesting things that have happened over these years. 2013 was a weird year. 2012 was just craziness, but 2012 really taught me a lot about what not to do. It taught me a lot about crisis actors, about gatekeepers, things like that. So I felt like there was a lot of people there that were just there. I don't know if they were paid to be there or whatever, but they were not there for a good purpose. And all the people who were there for something positive kind of got drowned out in a lot of that stuff. I mean, even at some point, Cindy Sheehan, who I have a lot of respect for, when she had her first podcast, the first question that from the public that she um, addressed was my question, which I thought was really awesome. And then I have a signed book from her too, so I have a lot of respect for her. But somebody told her, you know, we were standing outside the Bohemian Grove 2012, and you can see that if you watch this video, Bohemian Grove 2012, Mark Dice and Cindy Sheehan highlights. You can clearly see that, you know, they wanted, somebody was telling her, hey, let's go storm the Bohemian Grove. The Bohemian Grove is private property. I do not subscribe to violating anybody's privacy, right? I respect private property, right? I wouldn't want somebody trying to storm my private property. Why would I want to go and storm somebody else's? So it was a lot of theatrics, theater, which is kind of ironic, I guess, when you think about it. You know, what's happening inside of Bohemian Grove and then what happened outside of Bohemian Grove in 2012 was very theatrical. I'll just put it like that. And then as the years go by, you know, things kind of chilled out. 2013 was a weird year. Felt like there was, you know, we had the Billy Bob guy and the Google Glasses guy who was there. So it was a really interesting year. They were kind of feeling us out. In 2014, I think that's when they gave us those donuts and or try to give us the donuts, right? You have two security guards in 2014. This is on the video. You can watch this. It's Bohemian Grove 2014, Sweet Little Lies. These two guards drive up in this little golf cart and they try to give us donuts. And as they were doing that, and they're just messing with us, kind of, you know, they're just kind of goofing around as guys do. That's cool. I got a kick out of it, but I really got a kick out of when there was a tree right behind them. A tree branch fell and almost hit them. It was just like God was sending them a signal. Don't mess with these guys. It's one of the funniest things. I caught it on video. Mendo Brendo caught it on video too. So it's definitely worth checking out. Some really interesting stuff there from 2014. So they tried to give us donuts. We took the donuts. I don't think anybody ate the donuts. So in 2015, Bohemian Grove 2015, we tried to come back that year and give them donuts. And of course, they wouldn't take our donuts. But I think that was the year that I gave them the Dole Care book that I had, 37 pages. It was more like a pamphlet, but I go through lulu.com and it's a great, you know, free way. It's print on demand. So I could, you know, I made the book, I wrote it 37 pages, typos and all, was able to print it out make like 20, 50 copies or something for a very, very cheap, right? Like a couple $100 or something, and then pass them out. I still have some of those that I'll be handing out. Um, but that was an interesting time. So 2014, they tried to give us donuts. God warned them by almost crushing them with the branch. Is pretty funny. And then 2015, we tried to return the favor and give them donuts, but they wouldn't take our donuts. So we had to take the donuts back. 2016, another interesting year, where Tony comes back out. This guy named Tony, right? So it's all about Tony. 2014, 2015, 2016, I think 2017 too. It's all Tony. And then all of a sudden Tony's gone. He's not really there. So I don't know whatever happened with him, but he's an interesting character. Tony was he was a security guard working part-time there, but you could tell he was kind of a CIA, not CIA, and actually Mendo Breno would know better, but I think maybe Secret Service, right? We found out Tony worked for the Secret Service. In 2016, they kind of gave us Tony's story. He worked for the Secret Service. He may have even guarded Jimmy Carter, and I think Mendo Breno found something where he may have been there when Reagan was shot. He may have been one of the Secret Service guys there or something too. So he's got an interesting story, and then all of a sudden he's gone. But he said something about the Middle East that obviously really, stuck home, and we did capture that on film too. And maybe Mendo can make like a compilation. It'd be nice to make a compilation of just all the Tony footage that we have. He's a very interesting character, very funny character. He even approached us. I forget, it may have been 2017, but he approached us and kind of like let me know that he knew about me, right? Because he's like, he brings it up. This is all on video. He brings it up like, oh, you're into the wrestling thing, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm into the wrestling thing. And we start chatting, and then I actually invite him to a wrestling show. So I mean, it's that invite is still open, Tony. If you do want to join me at a wrestling show, I think that'd be kind of cool. That'd be fun. But he did say that he would go, so he's got to follow through on it. But in all seriousness, obviously they were just joking around with us, so we were just kind of joking back. But it was nothing, violent, nothing like what happened in 2012. 2012 was just like people were yelling at the cops and screaming at them and talking all this drama. So you can compare 2012 to the years afterward, and I think when I look at it, I'm like, there's a lot of shame in 2012, and I got caught up in it too. You can hear me on camera in 2012 going along with some of this stuff, and you can see how easy it is for somebody to just get swept up in that moment. So it taught me a lot about the protests, taught me a lot about the demonstrations, the how they can quickly turn into a riot. I think in 2012 they wanted it to be this big riot, and when it didn't happen, they were almost like disappointed that it didn't happen. It's pretty interesting stuff. All right, so let's continue on. We're almost done here, folks. So 2017, I'm just going to open this one up a little bit. 2017, we got to meet a new security guard. And really, this is the year I really started to kind of understand how the security and all of that stuff worked, and how these were just kind of, kids. They would always hire these young kids, and for the summer. So it's a good summer job, good way for them to just make some money. But it was an interesting year, 2017. What happened was when my main YouTube channel got shut down, a lot of this stuff is backed up. So I think all the stuff, all of my videos are backed up, thankfully, to my friend Sean. But I wanted to get these up here. I wanted to get something up on these channels. So I was able to find past videos and kind of make a video out of it. So the quality may not be as good as it first was. Hopefully I can get those high quality videos back up, but I figure it's more about the actual content here. So 2017 was a very interesting year. We had some of the sheriffs coming out, and this is, I started really thinking about, and my friend Sean was like, why are the sheriffs are here every year? Finally in 2019 or 2020, the county voted that they were no longer going to the sheriff's deputies. The county was no longer going to pay for the sheriffs to guard the Bohemian Grove. After what happened in 2012, I totally get it why they would think, oh, we definitely need some presence. But by 2017, 2018, I mean, you maybe need one car, one of these guys. You don't need all these people. Plus, you have the highway patrol that is out there. I don't know why they're, well, Bohemian Grove Highway. Oh, Bohemian, yeah. So that makes sense. But still, they're kind of out there. So now we get into the rookie, or this rookie guard, this new security guard. I don't even know if Tony is here at this point, but you can see, look at how packed this place. It's so packed that there's cars almost right up to the line. There is a line that you cannot pass on their, that's their private property, right? I would never want to pass their private property unless they let me in. If they won't let me in, that's cool. Let's go. Let's do it. 2022. Um, maybe I'll send them something. Can I come in? Come on, man. I just want to go in. I just want to check it out and show, see what's going on. But even though my friend probably watching this is like, no, don't do that. And she's awesome. But so we're out there talking with people, unless people are really rude or really obnoxious or talking smack or something like that, they generally won't get put on my camera. I can't speak for anybody else. I can only speak for myself. But most of the people that I've chatted with are really nice. People coming out of the Grove, coming into the Grove are really nice. Some of the workers are kind of ditzy, kind of douches, but um, most of the members that I've talked to who have come out and come in have been very nice, just very respectful. And remember, treat people the way you want to be treated. How do you want people to treat you? And you got to treat them like that. Where it goes from there, that's a whole nother issue. So anyway, so we're just out there. You can see there's Mindo Brindo. There's my friend Sean. We're just out there trying to figure out what's going on. You can see the member is to the right of this camera. I don't get him on that much. He's on there for a little bit. He was part of the band, and you could tell he really, doesn't really know that much about what is going on. Remember, this is the first year where Trump is in office. So 2018 is really 2018 is when we brought out the Trump the Trump a cardboard cutout, I believe. It's 2018 or 2019. I can't remember which one, but we brought that out and had a little fun with that. So those videos aren't up yet, but I will try to get those up. You can see here's a Bohemian Grove club member, or maybe he's not a member. I forget. I have to listen to this. It's been a while since I've watched this stuff or listened to it. It's interesting to go back to it and kind of relive all of those things too. But um, you can see where the property line is. See those three lines there. So that's why he's on their property. We're on our property, and it's pretty interesting. We're on public property. It's pretty interesting. So watching the first amendment audits has also really kind of confirmed a lot of what we were doing there. I was like, wow, okay, yeah, you can film in public. Some people may not like it. They may not like the camera in their face. I generally don't try to film the workers unless there was like one or two times where I did because they were, acting childish and I wanted to get that on film, stuff like that. But generally I don't. I really don't film license plates, anything like that either. So, but we are free to, and we can, right? If it's in public, if we can see it, we can film it. So that was an interesting year. 2017 was a very interesting year to me. Started to kind of learn a lot more. And then I think the last video I have here, so that's all on the website, what is truth 911.wordpress.com. If you go under the Bohemian Club questions section, you'll see we have 2012, everything from 2012 that I have so far. And then you may come back and there may be some new stuff. 2013, you'll see that too. 2014, 2015, 2016, and then 2017. I mean, this is where, and I haven't added, I need to add 2017, 2018, 2019 are some interesting years because Trump is in office and I wanted to see what their view was. It was a lot of, there were some thumbs up and everything, but I felt like there was this hatred towards Donald Trump. It's like, wait a minute, he's the Republican nominee. He's a Republican candidate. He's a Republican president. Even these guys don't like him. Like, these are these rhinos? Like, what is going on? Are they Republican in name only? But I never really thought of as I never really thought of President Trump as a Republican or as a Democrat. I think he's just a businessman and a good businessman. You can look at his track record and see what he's done. People want to, oh, he's done, he's bankrupt and he's done this and that. But he's done a lot more than a lot of people have ever done in their lifetime. So I can't knock him for, I mean, obviously, if you are that successful, and if you are that successful without being catered to, like Joe Biden or something, you're going to have failures. You're going to have those, ups and downs. You don't see that with Nancy Pelosi, with Biden, with Gavin Newsom, with the same cast of characters. You don't see that. It's just like a flat line. Everything is just flat for those people because they're part of this thing. And whatever, say whatever you want. I really don't think Trump is really part of that either. But that's up for everybody. You have to decide that yourself. So I will be adding more 2017 videos, any 2018 videos, 2019 videos, 2020 videos will all be added here. So Bohemian Grove 2020 will be added there. Also, any podcast versions, the Spotify version, I'll be adding that so you can quickly just kind of watch it. Just hit the play button and that'll play that. Because we are on Spotify, What is Truth? Greg Fernandez Jr., and you can check out any audio versions of this stuff that I think is relevant, that is worth watching. I'll definitely put that up there. The interview that I did with Crip Rick, I think is one of the best interviewers. Like Steven Sanzeri was saying the other day, is one of the best interviewers ever that we've ever seen. So Crip Rick, I think, has a great future. You can catch him on Revolution Radio. Go to freedomslips.com and you can catch him there every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern. He also has a Saturday show, which is kind of nice too. The Saturday show is just a very chill show. He talks about music, like entertainment, movies that have symbolisms, things like that. Pretty interesting stuff there too. So I'm gonna try to add a whole section for Crip Rick to this website here too. But I'll be adding more content here, everyone. I want to thank you all for tuning in here, for joining, and we'll definitely come back. And next time we will talk more. And I'll be adding more videos to this channel. So if you go to Bohemian Grove, I'm sorry, if I'm just going to go here to the channel, Bohemian Club Questions. This is what it looks like. This is the officer, and these are two of the guards. These two guards wanted us off their property. The officer is very nice, very respectful. And I think that was in 2015, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it could have been 2015. So there is that. And the Bohemian Club questions. This is a new one that I've put out here, and there's a lot of interesting stuff. It's about 53 minutes, so you can check that one out. That one has a lot of extras, a lot of things that you may not have seen yet regarding the Bohemian Club, the Bohemian Grove. I mean, look at that. Some strange things. So you'll have hopefully you won't have nightmares. Don't watch it at night, but just kidding. Until then, my friends, God bless you all. And thank you again for watching. I'll be back next time. And we'll think about doing some type of a podcast or something like that dedicated to the Bohemian Club. God bless you all.